Hello, my name is Adolfo Neto, and I'm here to talk about this book, Learn Use Some Erlang for Great Good by Fred Hebert. You can find him on Twitter as Mono NCKC, and I'm going to talk about higher order functions. Here, Fred explains that higher order functions are functions that can either receive a function as a parameter or return a function as a result. So he explains that this is a concept rooted in mathematics, and he gives an example. That's what I'm going to explore here. Let me first, I have a new version here, but let me first show his example. Okay, let me close this. Oh, sorry, I have to close here. And let me create a file. Let me move the new file that I have to this one. And let me use this. Oh, it's not, I have to copy this code. I'm going to paste it, and I'm creating a file called hhfuns.erl. If I open this Visual Studio Code here, it shows the file. So let's see what's here. It's creating a module, which is a group of functions called hhfuns. It uses compile, export all to say that all functions here are public. One is a function of arity 0, you see here, 1/0, arity 0, and returns 1. 2 is a function of arity 0 and returns 2. And add is a function that receives x and y and returns x plus y, but it doesn't return x plus y, but rather it returns the result of applying x to nothing and y to nothing. So let me see how it works. I'm going to open the Erlang shell, Erl, and I'm going to compile hhfuns. So it gave me a warning, but that's okay. If I run this function, if I call this function 1 of arity 0, it's going to return the number 1. If I call 2 arity 0, it's going to return 2. But if I call add with 1 and 2, it's going to return an error. Why? Because it's expecting that the first and the second argument, they must be functions. So what I have to do here is to pass as the first argument the function 1, and as the second argument the function 2, but this is not going to work, okay? Why? Because, and that's what Fred explains here, you have to send a function as a parameter to another function, you have to use this notation here, fun module semicolon function slash arity. So now I have to do this fun hhfuns 1/0 fun /0. Okay, now it worked because it inside add it called this function which returns 1, it called this function which returns 2, and added 1 plus 2. If I use 1 and 1, it's going to return 2. If I use 2 and 2, it's going to return 4. So this is the first example here. It doesn't work this way too. If I just use the name of the functions, it doesn't work. You have to use this notation here. And I created here too another module called HHFuns2. And one thing that I did different here is that I exported, instead of using compile export all, I exported all functions. The functions 1, 2, and add are exported here as 1/0, 2/0, add/2, and I added another function called 3_f/0. Why? Why did I do that? Because I wanted a function that returned another function as a result. So that's what 3f does. It returns a function with arity 1. So the function 3f has arity 0, but the function that it returns has arity 1. This is important for us. And what does it do? It receives an argument, it just ignores it, and it returns 1 plus 2, which are these two functions here, applied. So this is going to be 1, this is going to be 2. So it doesn't matter the argument here, it's going to return 3. Let's see how this works. Let me open the Erlang shell again. Let me compile HHFuns2. Let me see if I saved the last version. Yes. And now, oh, sorry. See, HHFuns2 and HHFuns2. 1 returns 1. 2 returns 2. Add, if I use that same notation, and fun HHFuns 2/0 is going to return 3. But what's going to happen if I call 3f? It's remember, this is a zero-array function. So it's going to return something. What? A function. Okay, so let me apply that function to a number, 34. Oh, it didn't work. But if I do this, if I put this, the result of applying 3f to nothing, it's going to return a function. And then I can apply that function, the function that was returned by 3f, I applied it to 34, and it returned 3. So it doesn't matter if it's 34 or 100 or any number here. Actually, any value here, it's going to return 3. So let me change this a little bit. I'm going to just do this. Now I'm going to recompile HHFuns. This is going to return an error, but this is going to return 103, because now I'm adding 100 to 1 and 2. So, sorry. So that's it. And yes, and in the rest of the lesson, he explains a little bit more how it works. And also the idea of anonymous functions, but I believe this is enough for this video. Now you know the basics of higher order functions. You can use higher order functions to send a function as a parameter and return a function as a result, as a return value of a function. So see you next video. Bye bye.